but I'm very involved in the associative sector and in the Entrepreneurs Association. I'm heading also the Injaz board, Surah is here, Injaz Al-Alam. I'm Vice President of a think tank, the unique think tank that exists in Algeria called CARE. It's in French, Club d'Action et de Réflexion autour de l'entreprise. I'm Vice President of the Drink Producers Association. We have the Coca-Cola company here. And also I'm very active in the Forum des Chefs d'Entreprise, which is the #1 entrepreneurs association in Algeria. So I'll stay here. I'm not going to talk about my company, it's going to be too long.
But we will want to maybe delve in a bit further later and what's made you successful, how, you know, what you've done that's unique compared to your peers, you know, maybe also how your approach in Canada varies from what you've done in Algeria, but we'll get back to that, and we'll turn it over to Hisham to also update us on his introduction. As a whole?
No, I'm not going to talk about that. Sorry.
I'm not going to talk about that because you know, Usama gave me the opportunity to talk about what I really want to talk about is creating companies, corporate governance, creating employment, etc. This is yes, it's clear, it's very important, but from my point of view, there's 10 key facts you should know. In the region, the ratio is 1 to 10. 1 to 10, it means that we have, on average, it differs from one country to another. We have one company in our region for 10 companies in the developed country. So this ratio means that there is a huge gap to fill in terms of number of companies we could create and in terms of jobs we could create. Second fact, we are governed by people that has an industrial mindset, and the young generation has a service mindset. So we must work on changing the mindset of the people who govern us, or make a revolution to keep the control of the country and then bring the service mindset at the level of the government. This happened in Tunisia, in Morocco, and other countries. Third fact, agribusiness has a very negative perception from young generation, and that business is a potential source of creation of a lot of jobs or companies. And we should work on that perception at the level of the young generation to make them go for jobs in the agri-industry, in the agribusiness, in the agriculture. In our region, the government now has a huge fear for mobility. Mobility of capital, mobility of resources. Probably it's more important in North Africa than in Middle East. But in any case, mobility of human resource is perceived by the government as a threat. And this creates also a misbalance, because in the region you have, as per example, a lot of technicians or engineers in a country, and you don't have enough engineers in this country. And because of the fear of mobility, you have here an increase of unemployment for the engineers, and you don't have it in the other country. So the fear of mobility didn't allow a proper allocation of the usage of the human resource that we have or we could access really in the region. Same for the capital. A lot of cash in this country, not enough cash in that country. This country wanted to bring the cash and stimulate or create companies in the other country. No, because the cash is coming from, I don't know, from Qatar, and Qatar has, what's the name of Al Jazeera? Al Jazeera, so for political reason, we don't want to have a lot of Qatar in our country. In our countries, we notice as a fifth fact, low economic growth and low foreign direct investment. We must accept FDI in our countries. you didn't feel it a lot in the Middle Eastern country. We feel it in North Africa. We have a fear when it comes to FDI. But FDI is very important for us because it accelerates the learning curve in the country. We couldn't wait for technology come and gradually people learn, etc., and then set up companies that will catch up with very technological intensive companies, and it will take time, and we will lose our growth. The five other facts that I want you to know. And you heard about that, low access to financing. The lady here addressed that, and she brings solution. We have a lot of solution around that, but if you don't have a lot of creation of company because of a not favorable business environment or ecosystem, so yes, you will bring a solution to poor financing, but you will not sort out the problem of job creation or company creation. Skill mismatch. We have education system that focus on quantity, not on quality. And at the end, we have a lot of people that has a diploma, piece of paper. They show you that I have a diploma. So, what employability? No, sorry, you're not good. So yes, we are Coca-Cola company. We're going to put a program to help them, etc. But at the end, it's not the right solution. So we must find a right solution. We have a rigid labor market in our region, especially in North Africa. You hire someone, to fire him, it's crazy. If someone didn't feel or didn't work properly, you must be able to fire him. We are not able to fire him. So before recruiting, so it takes time. So that's why people are sitting in the street waiting for jobs, because no one wants to offer jobs to someone who is not employable, doesn't have the right skill, is accepting a lot of things. Okay. The two last points. One was very, very important from my point of view, and I'm working on that. I really want to conduct a study. All the experts came with biased figures around the informal economy. We don't know a lot about the informal economy in our region. What is happening in the informal economy? How many jobs the informal economy is creating? How can we bring informal economy to formal economy? Because we don't know really how many jobs are created there. And those jobs are not sustainable jobs, so we need to address that problem. I'm not going to be longer. The last one, the cost of the youth unemployment in the region was calculated by the experts. Again, it's 2.3% of GDP for the whole Middle Eastern region. So it's huge, it's very important. So we need really to address all those points. There's some solution or some action led by some groups of people or some governments. But I didn't see any coordinated action at the region level to address the informal economy, to address really to reduce that famous ratio that I hate, the 1-4-10 ratio. Everyone says, no, we need to address the job creation. Please create companies in our region. By creating companies, you need to facilitate the process of creating companies, not creating jobs, creating companies. Someone who wants to set up his company, he should be able to set up his companies in less than 1 minute. We don't have it in North Africa. I don't know in other countries of the Middle East. We don't have it. As long as we have government that wanted to control the creation of companies, as long as we will not address properly the problem of job creation. Thank you.
Excellent. So, Slim, I think you echo Sema's point that the focus is really on SMEs, not at the micro level, and you know it's good that CHF and the Middle East Initiative, etc., is focusing on solutions for maybe mitigating the risk of starting such SMEs. With that, I'll turn it over to Sham. You mentioned the EIC, the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Committee that I guess was recently launched at the American Chamber of Commerce in Cairo, and we'd be interested to hear more about what you're doing to foster the growth and development of SMEs.
North Africa is facing the famous problem of royalties, foreign exchange currency. You know, our countries are sick about foreign exchange currency. They don't understand that economy, making business, is making a dollar rotating. But they always think that being a prosperous economy is accumulating dollars, which is completely different than from doing business. And the problem is franchising offers those opportunities that you are talking about. And you have those governments looking at franchise like a pump of foreign exchange currency. So we need to break that mindset and tell them we had enough of that. Young generation, those people wanted to have ideas. They wanted to have ideas that they can achieve or realize in a very short term, not waiting to understand how the business model works, taking years and years and years. And they need to pay for that. Know-how has a cost. Otherwise, we should go to the United Nations and tell them intellectual property, we want to discuss about the intellectual property and completely cancel that notion. No more intellectual property around the world. That's it, and it's very difficult.
But how can franchising solve the unemployment?
Is there anyone else who wants to talk about franchising?
I think we're running out of time.
Okay. Are there any other questions?